Hi, David O'Sullivan here, and
Billy Shaw.
yeah, and today we're going to be doing a spoilers review for Spectre. I feel like there were so many things that weren't revealed in the trailer. To talk about the film, we kind of have to go into specifics of
Yeah.
what we liked and into details. At the beginning of the film, so the opening, we had the classic James Bond gun barrel shot right at the beginning of the film, just like in the older ones.
Yeah, I don't think we actually got that in Skyfall or Quantum of Solace.
Yeah, they just, well, it was in Skyfall, but right at the very end of the film.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, they just...
Oh,
typed it
yeah,
up right at the
yeah,
end,
of course, yeah.
Yeah, I think it works better at the beginning, I think.
Yeah, obviously.
The opening action sequence in Mexico City I thought was really good.
Yeah, Day of the Dead.
It was filmed really well. It was like a really long tracking shot. I didn't realise at first, then I realised, but then as I was watching it I realised, oh yeah, it hasn't cut yet. Like, it just keeps going, and it's like going from outside back into the building and then out again. I don't really know how they did that, because if it was on like a crane outside, but they couldn't have had it on a crane inside, but I don't know. it was filmed really well. It followed him then going on to the rooftops.
When I was watching the film, I realised that he was changing the camera angles like quite a bit. He was going from behind to the side to the front.
It was constantly moving.
Yeah, it wasn't like staying in one place, which is pretty good.
Yeah, I like it when they do that. Have just long shots and the camera's constantly moving. So
yeah,
you feel like it helps immerse you into the film.
Yeah, because sometimes films can have trouble pacing, and it was just so seamless.
Yeah, they didn't actually cut until he went to shoot the guy, I think. But, and of course the action bit with the helicopter I thought was really good.
Yeah,
well.
I'm not even sure how they filmed that, to be honest.
Because it looked really realistic as well. How it tied into the opening title sequence.
Yeah.
Well, that was done really well. It was really sometimes it can just suddenly go into the titles, but this was really kind of smoothly transitioned.
I actually really liked the way that they did it, because they zoomed into the ring and it was just straight into it.
Yeah, how it went from this intense action sequence and then the music slowly started coming in and then going into the title. And I actually really liked the title sequence as well.
Yeah, so did I. It definitely did seem like an old Bond film. Like, I think if you hadn't watched the previous three, you would think, oh, this is like an old Bond film, because just the way that they were doing it with the women dancing.
Yeah, because even though it was coming off Skyfall, you could probably still watch this without having need to watch the others.
Yeah.
And, like going back to the classic kind of era of James Bond. And of course, again with the title sequence, even though I love Skyfall's one, I might have loved this one as much, if not more.
Yeah, I think I love this one more.
What I liked most about it was how the theme, the lyrics in the theme song match with the visuals. Like,
yeah.
Really,
I heard the song before I watched the film, and I was like, I'm not sure if I like this, but then when I watched it, it just seemed to perfectly go with it.
It worked really well. Like, everything that was saying in the song, how it all matched up with what we were seeing on screen. The connections between Spectre and the other films.
Yeah, because they didn't have to do that, and I thought maybe if Sam Mendes didn't direct, they might not have gone down the route of linking all of the villains together.
But we saw them in the title sequence.
Yeah, but
cool.
They would have had to have done something to do with Mr. White anyway, because they they included him at the end of Casino Royale and had him in briefly in Quantum of Solace, but then he just disappeared and they didn't really solve what happened to him or what organisation he belonged to, because in Skyfall they don't even mention it.
Yeah, I think that's a really nice way to tie all the Daniel Craig James Bond films together.
Yeah.
How all the villains turn out to be actually working for Spectre kind of thing.
It is like a really unique idea, because in the previous Bond films I don't think, they're just sort of standalone, so you don't need to see, apart from two of them which lead off one another, you don't really need to see previous ones to know what's going to happen in the film. And
I think it was really cleverly done and really well done, how it all kind of connected together and then all led up to what was revealed.
Yeah.
Spectre, with obviously Blofeld being the one behind it all. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't predictable in my opinion. I wasn't expecting what happened.
Yeah, and how the villains were kind of his pawns, and he was Bond's arch enemy. The performances by the cast, I thought, was another.
Yeah, I think Daniel Craig has just gotten better over time.
It's kind of like with Hugh Jackman as Wolverine.
Yeah.
The better he gets.
Yeah, because in this one, I think he was being a bit more witty, Roger Moore or any of the others.
Yeah, it's kind of wisecracking, like,
Yeah.
some like witty deadpan one-liners.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really funny.
Yeah, and because I really like Daniel Craig as James Bond, and then you really settled into it by like Skyfall, wasn't you?
Yeah.
And you're thinking, oh, maybe he's getting a bit too old for it, but then you watch Spectre and he's still really owning it. So.
I know, yeah. In Casino Royale, he did seem a lot more serious.
Yeah.
And I think over time he has kind of mellowed a bit.
Yeah, because I like the first ones, Casino Royale, because sometimes it was a little bit too serious. It wasn't like sometimes it's more fun when they don't take it too seriously.
Yeah.
Léa Seydoux as Madeline Swan, I thought was really good as well.
Yeah, so do I. I think she's actually one of the best Bond girls, but I think that maybe because she didn't seem, although James Bond had to save her, it wasn't sort of in a damsel in distress kind of way.
Yeah, it was more realistic.
Yeah, it was more of like being my partner in crime almost.
But she wasn't there just as like for sex appeal.
Yeah.
She was like a strong, independent character. Like, and they didn't like fall in love instantly. It was like a relationship, and they fell in love like over time. So it's more believable in that way.
It definitely was more believable, because sometimes I'm rolling my eyes thinking, oh my god, how does James Bond get all these women?
And it was like a great payoff for that bit on the train. I was like, oh, what do we do now?
Yeah.
That bit was good.
I think we should talk about Monica Bellucci next, if we were just talking about a really good Bond girl.
Yeah, she was good in the film, but then her role was, it was a really small role. She wasn't that much.
It was, and it did seem a little forced, because they could have just glossed over it.
You could have found out about the meetings some more.
Yeah, and the only thing that she added to the film was, hey, this is where you need to go next.
Yeah, it was kind of a bit pointless in a way, because she was there just for 2 seconds and then she was kind of gone. And then
I was expecting a bigger role from her.
Yeah, I didn't know if she really needed to be there, but then Madeline Swan was a really good character.
Yeah.
She played a really big part in the film and the story. So.
And usually in Bond films they have 2 Bond girls, and one of them's a bit brushed off to the side.
One's like an important one that stays, and the other's like a disposable one.
Yeah, exactly.
Christoph Waltz as the main Bond villain, Hans Oberhauser, or it turns out he's actually Blofeld.
Yeah.
I think he played a really good villain, didn't he?
Yeah, definitely. I've seen him in a few other films where he has been villains, but I think this one was really unique for him, because he acted so calm.
Oh yeah, that's more unnerving.
Yeah.
Because he's never like angry or shouting or fighting or shooting, but it still comes across as really kind of scary.
It's quite intimidating. The scene where he's would you say torturing? Yeah, I'd say torturing. Was it?
Needles.
He just seems so sort of.
Like it was just doing something really nice and
normal. It's like he was like
really relaxed,
making an omelette or something.
Yeah, and even though it wasn't that surprising that he turned out to be Blofeld, I think I realised how they made him the kind of the new modern incarnation of Blofeld. I thought it was.
Yeah, I think he was definitely a good incarnation of him.
As soon as I saw the White Pussycat, I knew that he was definitely Blofeld.
Dead giveaway.
Yeah, but then we saw how he got the scar on his face.
Yeah, I did think that was like a nice flash to the past sort of thing, because Blofeld's always got the cut across his eye.
Yeah, and I'm also glad that they didn't kill him off, because all the other Daniel Craig Bond villains he ended up killing off. So I thought. And he was like, "Oh, you killed them all," and I was like, well, "I hope he's not going to turn out him killing him again." But
I think I kind of expected him not to kill Blofeld, because it was a sort of way of saying, "I'm not going to play your game anymore," because he was asking James to kill him.
He was one that controlling all the other.
And also said previously in the film, he said. It's a license to kill and not to kill. And I was thinking, why would you mention that unless there's something to do with it?
Yeah, and I think it would have been. I'm glad that they didn't kill him off, because he's like Blofeld. He's like Bond's arch enemy, the ultimate Bond villain. So I think there's room for like him to come back, maybe in possible.
Yeah,
sequence.
I don't think they should use him for the next film, but maybe in the future. definitely.
He's probably going to be like in prison or something.
Yeah.
Isn't he? But
I'm sure he'll find a way to get out.
I'm glad they kept him alive at the end, which was good. Dave Bautista as the Bond henchman.
Yeah.
I thought he was good.
Yeah, Mr. Hinks.
Yeah, he didn't get a whole lot to do acting-wise, but then his role was primarily like a physical role. And
He did seem like a classic Bond villain, like Odd Job in I think it's Golden Ball. And he's just constantly throwing James Bond around, and he's hitting him, and he's not really doing anything because he's just so big.
Yeah, because in the past he's like not had that much trouble going fighting.
Yeah.
With the Bond henchman in this one, he was just like absolutely just destroying him. Like,
I know,
unstoppable. the train fight.
That was
really
amazing.
good, yeah.
Although I thought he's very intimidating because of the scene that he gets introduced. He's not talking.
Yeah, the fact that he doesn't talk much because he's like this silent but deadly Bond henchman, classic.
And he just comes in and just takes out this guy's eyes with his nails.
It's like audition, isn't it?
Yeah, and just sits down, and everyone just like quiet, like, oh, right, okay.
Ben Whishaw as Q, I thought was really good again, was he?
Yeah, I actually really like him as Q. Definitely had a bigger role in this film, and the dialogue between the two, like Daniel Craig or James Bond, was really good.
Because he was introduced in Skyfall, and I really liked him in Skyfall, but then when he got that, brought him back in this and gave him slightly more to do, and his scenes with Bond were definitely a highlight. Because those are probably the funniest bits in the film.
The funny thing is, like, in Skyfall, I thought the funniest scenes were the ones between Bond and Q in that one, and then it was the same in Spectre.
And it's kind of like even more humour probably.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? I like the fact that it was more kind of light-hearted. Like it didn't take itself too seriously. Yeah. It was more kind of, there was some kind of funny, like quippy, witty bits. It helped them.
Especially when they're in the mountains. I'm not sure what country that was actually though.
Is it Austria, I think?
Yeah. Oh yeah, Austria. Yeah. Those bits were really good.
Yeah.
He did have me worried when he was in the cable car, and there's the two henchmen, and I was worried if he was going to get killed because I was like, "You can't kill off Q."
All the action sequences in the film. Already talked about the opening one. At the
Yeah,
beginning of the film.
I think they were. What I noticed about this film compared to the other three Daniel Craig films was that they seemed a lot slower, but I don't think that was necessarily a bad thing.
It's kind of like toned down a bit. I think it wasn't that. That full on and intense. It's like maybe Casino Royale and that, but I still think all the action set pieces were still done really well. Were exciting to watch.
Yeah, they were great.
The car chase in Rome between him and
Mr. Hinks.
Yeah, I thought was good. Even though the new Aston Martin he just like got rid of in like 2 seconds, which I thought was a bit like
pointless. Yeah. I was kind of annoyed with that because he didn't.
For the whole film.
I know he didn't really get to use much of it, and also the gadget. One of the gadgets wasn't loaded. I don't know what that was. Was it like oil or something? Like in the old films, I know who used to like do oil so it'd slip out.
Oh no, because you were going to try to shoot him.
Oh,
and there was like no ammunition.
Of course.
Then it was supposed to be like a prototype, I think. But then,
yeah.
Yeah, so it was like a brand new car made just for the film, and it was just in that one scene really, and then that was it.
And then it got
rid of
completely
it.
trashed in the water.
Yeah. It's good how they brought the classic Aston Martin back from at the end. I didn't see that coming because it was
no, did I?
Blown up and destroyed. If it was long gone, but
yes, so did I. Was like, I thought that was beyond saving, but as Q said, I told you to bring it back in one piece, not one piece.
Yeah, no, that's good. I still remember saying, bring it back in one piece, not bring back one piece. The other car chase with the plane as well in Austria, when he's chasing them, but he's in the plane and they're in the cars. I thought that bit was done quite well, and he was still chasing after them even when he crashed in the plane. I thought that was good.
I'm not actually sure how they managed to do that.
Yeah, it looked like a lot of it was done practically. It looked like CGI. But I love that lots of the because a lot of big budget blockbuster movies, you can tell it's like CGI or green screen, but in the Bond movies, a lot of it looks like it's done. Like,
I think they do try to do as much as possible.
It makes it look more real, more realistic. Then.
Because I know for a fact that in Skyfall, the bit with the motorbikes, when they're driving on the rooftops, they actually did that bit, but they obviously used a stunt double for James Bond.
The bit on the train as well, I know they did that.
Yeah.
In real life as well, because it just makes it more believable then, because you can tell that it's actually them actually doing it in real life. Of course, the fight on the train with Miss Hinks, we kind of already talked about, but it's a really good fight. Like, gave Bond like a really challenge, physical challenge.
He reminded me a lot of. I said earlier that he was a bit like Oddjob, but he was kind of a bit like Jaws. It just broke everything that he seemed to go into.
It's kind of a bit like the Bane Batman fighting down the line as well. He's just like completely like just destroyed him, and he's like unstoppable. Couldn't stop him.
I'm actually surprised James Bond even managed to put up a fight against him.
Then we just like took her out in just like one punch. Because usually that's like the kind of cliche of the girl helps and then she take him out, but then she tries to intervene and he's just like
just slaps her out to the floor.
Yeah. But then I like the fact that then she came back and it was because they worked together, they were able to take him out. Because obviously just him on his own, he probably wouldn't have been able to done it. But then because he got
I don't think he would have been able to.
Yeah, she distracted him and then he like tied him up and all that. But yeah,
it was good the way that he died because it was quite. Although it was a horrible death, it was like quite humorous because he only had the one line.
Because even though they just killed him off, then it was a really kind of funny way to like, get rid of him. But. Yeah, that was just the one word he says. The whole finale, which is set back in London, I thought was good. Like, in the ruined ruins of MI6.
I actually didn't realise until they showed the front that was the building.
Yeah, I didn't realise that at first until we saw the exterior. I was like, oh, they're actually in. It suddenly cuts to them inside, doesn't it?
Because you actually see the explosives. I saw like explosive tape on one of the things, so he would have known.
Yeah, because I was thinking, where is that? And I was like, oh, it's the MI6 that they're demolishing.
Yeah.
The direction by Sam Mendes, because of course he directed Skyfall and then came back to direct Spectre, which I thought was good.
Yeah.
I thought it made sense for him to come back to direct Spectre, seeing as he'd introduced and set up lots of things in Skyfall, so it made sense for him to finish that off.
And I think I said this earlier, the route they followed might not have necessarily been followed had they not got Sam Mendes back, because they didn't have to link the previous Bond villains in Daniel Craig's James Bond films. Yeah,
I think it was good how he managed to like bring it all kind of together and it all came full circle.
Make it connected.
And also how the film felt like a continuation of Skyfall, because even though it was different from Skyfall, it was kind of like came straight on from where Skyfall finished. You know, it was kind of like a Skyfall Part 2 kind of thing.
I think that was a good thing because you get to see Miss Moneypenny and M in the office again.
There's lots of things that were left hanging at the end of Skyfall, wasn't it? So they could continue that in Spectre, which I thought was good.
Although one thing that I thought was kind of unexpected was that Silver said he worked for himself in Skyfall, and yet you find out he's actually been working for Spectre.
I think that's the only one thing that didn't quite match up.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was supposed to be on his own, not with anybody else. You know, the fact that he was part of it as well. Or maybe he was kind of part of it in the past before he went off on his own, perhaps. Maybe.
Yeah, that could be it, because
maybe he was involved with them.
With Le Chiffre and Green, you knew that they were working for other people.
Yeah. Yeah, they weren't directly involved with them, but they were important people who were kind of like, you know, like Mr. White was actually working for Spectre.
Yeah.
Which I thought was good. How they tied Quantum and that into Spectre. But also felt the tone was quite different to Skyfall. It was tonally and stylistically quite a different film. But then I thought that was a good thing, wasn't it? You know, like
definitely.
Because there were similar things, but then it did feel like its own film. It didn't feel like they were just copying Skyfall, doing the same thing again.
I think Skyfall, it felt like there was a lot more action, but I don't think that was a bad thing for Spectre. Yeah,
because I think Spectre felt more like a throwback to the classic era of James Bond. Like it was more kind of, it was less like understated and more kind of flamboyant and theatrical than I thought, and it embraced the kind of what it was like in the classic James Bond films, which I thought was good.
I think they were focusing more on the storyline than the actual. We need to have loads of explosions and.
Yeah, it was more about the story, but it was also more playful and more fun, and it wasn't as like serious. Like it wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't take itself too seriously, which I thought was good. Like it was probably the funniest of the Daniel Craig James Bond films, which I thought was.
I think it also had the best dialogue overall.
Yeah, the dialogue was written really well, and it was really funny between Bond and Q, and that was good. One thing that did feel quite similar to Skyfall was the music, but then I think that was kind of a good thing because it made it feel like there was a kind of connection there. So even though they were quite different films, there was like a sense of unity through the fact that the music was quite similar between the two of them, I thought.
I didn't actually notice that, but
probably because I just only recently watched Skyfall like, a couple of days ago.
okay.
But yeah, lots of the tracks in the soundtrack felt that they were kind of directly from Skyfall, but yeah. And also, like you said about the Bond theme, it kind of came back briefly in one of the scenes into it.
Which I thought was really good, because I thought they were going to like show the whole song, because usually they just have it in the intro and then that's the end of it.
Yeah, it doesn't usually happen. You only usually hear it in the title sequence and then it never comes back. But I like that they briefly brought it back from it. It didn't go into the whole song, but I like that they brought it back and intertwined it into that scene. I thought that was quite good. I like it when they do that, because rather than we only hear it once and never again, I like how they bring it back and intertwine it into the film.
And the music always really
plays like a really big part.
It does suit whatever scene is going on.
Yeah. Like the lyrics like match of what's actually happening. The story of the film, so how the film was played out.
I don't think it was too predictable.
Yeah.
There were some parts which you kind of expected something different to happen, where Blofeld supposedly dies, but you know that would have been really anticlimactic, so they couldn't have killed him off just like that.
Yeah, and of course, like there's certain elements that are similar to Captain America: The Winter Soldier, like Spectre and Hydra, you know.
Yeah.
Goals and that were quite similar, but you know it was quite similar in a way. It was good because it was done in a different way.
And also, I think it was more complicated because there was this big organisation, and it was linked to previous films.
Yeah, it was all a big build-up, and then payoff and revealed all in Spectre, which I thought was good. And then on some things that weren't that great, I thought certain plot elements were slightly predictable, I think. So
Madeline Swan suddenly leaving after previously saying "I love you, James," and then she just ups and vanishes out of the blue.
Because she's there by his side for almost the entire film, and then she just, right near the end, she just suddenly decides to leave suddenly, and then it feels like they did that just so that then the enemy can come back and
advance the plot.
Kidnap her, which it seemed a little bit random out of the blue. I should just suddenly want to leave and go away.
And I thought it was more obvious when they were showing her walking away. When I was thinking, if she was going to just leave, they would have just left it at that. And then the fact that she was looking behind, it was almost suggesting something's going to happen to her.
You know they're going to come back and kidnap her, and then he's going to have to go rescue her. But the whole rescue bit was done well.
Yeah.
She wasn't actually killed off, which was good.
And it definitely was a surprise, because I thought, he's not going to make it in time, she's going to die.
Yeah, because it's a nice twist in the fact that most of the time the Bond girl is always killed off at the end, and he doesn't get the girl, but obviously
this time the villain didn't die, which is unusual, and also the Bond girl survived.
Yeah, I'm glad they didn't kill Blofeld off, because he'd be like Bond's arch enemy, the ultimate Bond villain.
It would have been a waste to like throw away such a good character.
He killed off all his like pawns. Like it wouldn't have made sense for him to just kill him off as well. I'm glad that they leave it open for him to come back in a possible sequel, I think.
One of the things that I personally didn't like about the film was the fact that Blofeld's ambitions to do what he's been doing, it seemed a little weak. He was jealous of James Bond. When his dad said, treat him like a brother, why would you get jealous over a brother like spending time...
I didn't see that coming. I didn't realise that he'd actually got jealous that they were close. He got jealous and then killed his dad off. I didn't see that coming.
I honestly think it would have been a better better idea if they'd said, oh, he's doing this because he's doing it for fun or something, like something so simple, like which you're like, why would you do that? Because some of the other villains, they would, like Le Chiffre, was doing it for money, Green was doing it for money, Silver because he wanted to kill M. And then it would have been better if he'd just been like, oh, I just like messing with you.
the ending of the film, I thought it was a nice way to end it with the
Aston Martin.
Him getting the Aston Martin back. Yeah, I thought that was a nice touch. Yeah.
It was definitely nice to get a happy ending for once, because in Casino Royale, Vesper died, which I think is really tragic, and then Quantum of Solace, Olga Kurylenko's character, she just walks away, and he gives Green some oil to kill himself, basically, and then they capture the man who was responsible for Vesper's death, or one of the people responsible, and then in Skyfall, M dies, which is it's quite sad for James, and then in this film he actually gets a happy ending for once.
Yeah, I thought it was good, because even though certain things were slightly cliche and predictable with the finale, I like the fact that it was a twist in the fact that he actually got the girl and the villain wasn't killed off. And it was also a kind of nice way to kind of wrap up the whole Daniel Craig series, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think the way they've left it's open, but in the same way, if they wanted to replace him or he decided not to do another Bond film, then it would be fine.
Yeah, it was a really nice ending. It kind of like wrapped it all up, and it kind of like brought all the Daniel Craig Bond films to a conclusion, but it's kind of still a bit open for him to come back, possibly.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was our spoilers review for Spectre. I hope you enjoyed listening to our thoughts and opinions about the film. If you like this video, make sure to click subscribe to see more. But for now, I've been David O'Sullivan. This has been Billy Shaw. I'll see you next time.